episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
Today we're going to be talking about 1985's Private Resort.
Bobby, book that fucking reservation.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
This bookie got no field coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl a little hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy would decide to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
So, Chris, Private Resort. Oof.
Oh boy!
A movie I have told you about in the past. You have never seen this movie, correct?
You had talked about this movie before we even started the podcast of like, oh, this should be one we should cover.
Yeah, I watched this movie. I've seen this movie maybe 20 times in my life, and that's a conservative estimate.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies I caught late night on like HBO or Showtime or one of those.
Jesus.
As a kid and loved it. I thought it was the fucking funniest movie I've ever seen. And then when it came out on DVD, I definitely purchased myself a copy, and I am not disappointed.
What are the bonus features on that?
There is none. It's actually
okay.
the worst DVD you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a menu. It just has the template menu. Like if you go to make a DVD like Cyberlink DVD or something, it literally has the template menu. It's just like DVD, and then it just says like play movie.
Oh, wow.
Languages. It's literally the worst menu you've ever seen.
Do you even get a chapter selection or audio setup?
Chris, come on now.
All right. You might as well get a
Yeah, you can hear Johnny Depp in French, I guess.
Yeah, les tits. I don't know. Maybe our binners from France can tell us what the fuck's going on with that.
Yeah.
Please.
No, it's one of the worst DVDs I've ever seen. And I'm assuming they haven't released it on Blu-ray, but they should. So before we get into it today, though, Chris, why don't we take a listen to the trailer?
Oh, why don't we?
For the theatrically released Private Resort.
Welcome to paradise. For the incurably romantic, there is Club Med. For the incredibly wild, there is the club that's mad. Private Resort, where two eager guys can resort to their most private fantasies.
I'm telling you, this is the place to be.
4 days made in heaven, and it's all theirs. Oh, look at that. Now they can worship the sun.
And we.
Rejuvenate their bodies.
I'm in love.
Meet stimulating people.
Be free with me, Rockalama.
And bare their souls.
You must lose your artificial layers.
You mean my clothes.
I beg your pardon?
Dance. Would you care to dance?
What?
Dance! Hey, the fraud's deaf.
It's the perfect escape, whether you're on the wrong side of the law
Give me that knife.
or on the flip side of reality.
Whoa, dude. Excellent cut. This place is insane. He's got my diamond. Come on.
It's the great getaway
It's gotta be your land.
for all kinds of action. Come join the feast. Go ahead. Just dive right in. You'll want to stay forever.
This place always this crowded. Wait till we get to the sauna.
Private Resort, the third in the private school private lesson saga. Now you can get away with everything.
Whoa, a mom and a dad. I'm home.
The only reason you'd stay there forever is if you're kidnapped and murdered on this resort. Otherwise, there's no reason to stay.
Chris, now you heard of the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a trilogy.
Yeah.
This movie is part of a trilogy, believe it or not. This is the final. This is the Return of the Jedi in the
Oh, really?
private series.
No way.
The Private Resort was the third in a series of comic teen sex romps from producer R. Ben Ephraim, each of which had the word private in the title. I think that's the only connection, is the previous two films were called Private Lessons and Private School. And this was Private Resort, the grand finale.
They went out on a high note, obviously.
And I feel like R. Ben, which is an interesting name, like R.L. Stein or something. I feel like, Chris, if we could just go into an office in 1984, we would go, all right, the first two movies we made, what were they? Something with private.
Private
we make all these movies called... What the fuck is wrong? It's private lessons. Oh, wait, yeah, there was one called private school. You know it. You know it. I feel like, though, I want to take a vacation, but at the same time, I want people to work, and I also want to kind of trick the IRS a little bit so we can have a vacation and also make a movie at the same time. So I'm thinking for the third in our trilogy, our private trilogy, which is gangbusters, nobody's ever seen movies with the words private in it do so well. We go on a resort, huh?
What about private parts? You know, we can film it in a gynecologist's office. You know, maybe
No. Shut the fuck up. I just got this brochure in the mail today for a place called Sandals. You ever been there?
I can't say I have.
I would think this. I'm looking at the pictures. There's broads, there's pools, there's bars, there's buffets. I'm thinking, let's set a movie here, right? Am I right? I'm looking at this at home with my wife, and I'm like, well, actually, it wasn't my wife. It was my other wife, if you know what I mean.
The secretary.
The guma, if you will. But we're looking at this brochure, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, how come I can't film a fucking movie out here? And then I was like, oh, wait, I can. So, can you go ahead and call up the Sandals Corporation and see if we can go ahead and film on their vacation spot? Also, book me a suite. We're kind of renting out for the summer. Or the winter, whatever we could get, you know.
You know, winter might be better. The nipples are harder on screen.
That's a very good point. You know, I know why I hired you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was just a very complex tax scheme to go get a free vacation and also film a movie.
Has to be.
Because there's like maybe 3 locations total in this.
And who would have thought about the word private going with the resort for a movie? Come on.
Somebody's like, get Mr. Elizondo in here. Maybe I can convince him to be in this movie. He gets a free vacation out of the deal. Also, maybe he can make a commercial for the Sandals Corporation. Oh my God, Chris! This is literally. I don't know how to explain this other movie other than like it's released by TriStar, okay, but it should have had Crown International on it.
Thank you, because again we get away with the Crown format of a film, whereas we have the plot seed, but it doesn't develop and blossom until the last 20 minutes.
This is seriously, Chris. This is just a series of jokes that somebody wrote down on a napkin.
Yeah.
That he then gave to he gave to a kid and said, can you write this into an actual movie?
Yeah.
Because guess what? We'll get into it. There's one screenwriter, but 3 people with story credits to this movie. And I'm like, so what story credits? They're at a bar one night. They're like, how are we going to trick the government into letting us write off this whole movie as a vacation? Well, we got to think of some jokes. All right. One, maybe he drugs the broad. Write that down.
There's a fish hook in a bikini.
Oh my God, that's fucking gold.
And there's a fat broad in the pool.
Oh my God.
Well, that wasn't the joke, but okay. I mean, need I not go further?
Even better, we can pay her less. This is their opinion, not ours, okay?
Crown International Pictures, where every woman has her price.
And this one's being made by TriStar, a real company.
I wish this film had less of a budget because I wanted to see what they could get away with.
All right, Chris. So, by the way, less of a budget. I don't know the budget to this movie.
I was curious.
Obviously, that's kept secret for tax reasons.
Exactly. I thought the same
That's one
thing.
they don't want to know. You know. That's one they're like, keep this. If they call, just give them a lot of paperwork. We don't know how much it costs. That kid, that fucking kid we hired, he dropped it in the pool. We don't know. It's the 80s. We don't make copies of it. There's no computers. Everything's written on stationery. Oops. Oh, you're here from the government. Oh, sorry. Paperwork got lost. Dropped in a pool. Let me give you Johnny Depp's address. So, Chris, believe it or not, this movie was released theatrically.
I can't believe it.
Its run was from May 6th to May 16th, so a solid 10 days. In 19
Does it say why it was pulled, or was it just...
Chris, please. It screened in 102 movie theaters, so a very limited release.
Yeah.
Now, when they say 102 movie theaters, I'm like, there's 102 bathrooms with movie screens? Or... how much you think? How much you think box office this baby made? I mean, it was a hit on home video, of course, but
Under 100,000. Well under 100,000.
$336,000.
Really?
861.
Well, I want to know what their marketing was like for this, because I guess that's better than I thought.
Marketing. Just enough. Just enough. You saw the commercial, right? I mean, you know the movie's real. We filmed it there. I needed the suite was part of the movie, but then we cut it out, you know. But what are you going to do? It's still a write-off. We filmed it, but, you know, the footage, who knows? We got footage laying all over around here. No, officer, I can't tell you exactly where that was. Do I have a receipt? Of course not. So let's get into the crew, Chris. Director, Grindbin All-Star.
Yeah. George Bowers.
George Bowers, the fucking man. He directed My Tutor, and he also, which is a movie we covered, and he was also the editor on Beach Girls and Van Nuys Boulevard. George Bowers only directed 6 things, and this movie was the last thing he directed. So apparently they were like, you know, it's not going to work out, George. We really love the cuts you make, but not the movies so much. So maybe get you back in that dark room.
But, you know, keep your hands where we can see them.
Like how Chris, by the way, has the poster for this movie just sitting on his phone like he's going to gain inspiration from it.
It's kind of just looking at it, I feel inspired.
It's an amazing poster, by the way. You were wondering the marketing campaign, Chris. You're staring at it.
Well, I was like, is this it?
Yes, it is. So literally the poster, by the way, the poster had to have been made before this movie. Because is that even anybody in this fucking movie?
I can't tell.
No, it is
tell.
not.
Nope.
That is not a guy in this movie. That is not Johnny Depp or Rob Morrow.
Oh, it is. That's Johnny and that's Rob, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you think so?
I think so. That looks like Johnny to me.
Well, either they got 2 guys that look like Johnny Depp and Rob Morrow and put sunglasses on them, or they're laying there. But basically, the poster for this movie, you should definitely look this up, is just a bunch of women laying stomach down, so butts up in the air in bikinis on a beach, and Rob Morrow and Johnny Depp laying
on their sides,
Michael Jackson Thriller pose.
Yeah.
And on each one of these ladies'
backs
is written another letter.
And they all spell out private resorts.
Yeah, it's an amazing poster.
Oh! That makes me want to see that if I were, you know, not wanting to see a movie. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you're looking for a movie to just take a date to, you know, something you don't need to pay attention to. Something you could be like, see, they drug women on the screen, and you're yelling at me like nobody does that. So, Gordon Mitchell, Chris, the screenwriter of this movie, 31 credits. However, this is the only movie he ever wrote, excluding the TV movie, The Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island, which, okay, so I had a real fucking problem with this one, by the way.
Yes.
So what's your question, first of all?
How did the Globetrotters get to Gilligan's Island?
Okay, let me tell you. I wrote down the synopsis, and I'm really fucking mad about all of this, okay?
Okay.
The synopsis is, the staff of the island resort, which confused me at first. What do you mean fucking resort?
Of Gilligan's Island?
The staff of the island resort need the aid of the Harlem Globetrotters to keep their island from a greedy millionaire. And I write, wait, what was the point of the show, to get off a fucking island?
Yeah. And would they go back and make it a resort?
So does this take place afterwards, like decades later?
It
and
has
they're like,
to.
we all got off the island. We should all get the gang back together and go open up a Sandals down there.
It's called Gilligan's Resort.
But now some millionaire wants to buy it. Call in the Globetrotters. And this pisses me off even more. The poster for this movie has a fucking robot.
Why?
I don't know. There's an orange robot, and I'm wondering, does this robot play basketball? Is this something like, is there a Harlem Globetrotter that's gonna, like, you know, bounce a ball off its head or something? Don't
fucking look at me. I don't know what.
At some point, that robot's head's gotta come off and be used as a basketball, right?
Yeah.
I was really confused about the whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck does this mean?
Oh no! No.
Because I know that, like, okay, in the Gilligan's Island TV show, they would have guest star people that would come to the island, and they'd have to, like, you know, like, infamously, there's a rock band that goes to the island, right? And somehow they're able to plug in their amps with some sort of coconut power.
Yeah.
But then they always, like, find a way off, and Gilligan and the rest of the people are left there, and everybody's a real dick because they never tell the Coast Guard that there's people stuck on this island. You know, and they're doomed. But apparently they get off and then bring... I don't know. It was all very confusing to me. Anyways... Gordon also wrote a bunch of TV shows, Chris. So here's some of the credits from TV he did. I mean, he did a lot. My Mother the Car, Get Smart, Mary Tyler Moore's Show, Partridge Family, All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Good Times, Mork and Mindy, Small Wonder, and many, many more. That man, he wrote this movie, his only movie.
Heavy hitter.
Yeah. And then for some reason I wrote there are 3 people credited with story credits, which we obviously know was just one night in a bar in Los Angeles where they scrapped together enough napkins with ink running pen on it.
Well, they didn't know they were writing a movie. This just kind of flowed.
There's just like, I can imagine this guy getting this things. They're like, hey, I know this guy who writes TV, just give it to him. And he gets it, he's like, I don't understand this. Passed out broad, guy fucking in other room. Well, all right. Trying to get diamond necklace. So then we get into the cast, Chris. Rob Morrow, who plays Ben in this movie, this was his first movie, first role ever.
We had to pop that cherry.
Yeah, but he's a very well-known TV actor. He has 52 credits. He's most known for his role as Dr. Joel Fleischman in Northern Exposure. He was also in a show called Numbers, which I've never seen, but it's like a newer show. He's also recently in American Crime Story and the show Billions. He's been in quite a few movies, such as Quiz Show and Bucket List. This was his first movie ever.
He was on the Bucket List? Is that not with the Jack Nicholson?
Yeah, he was in that.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You didn't see the guy wearing the turban making the bad jokes?
No.
I didn't know. That wasn't in Bucket List? There's no Bob-a-rama? And then, Johnny Depp. No introduction needed.
Nope.
This was his second movie ever after his role in Nightmare on Elm Street in 1984. And now there's a rumor on the internet, which is a rumor.
This is quite infamous, though.
That Johnny Depp and Rob Morrow are very ashamed of this movie and would rather it not be seen. But I don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, it's not like this isn't like a sex tape or anything like they made, but to them it might well as be.
I mean, what the fuck do they care? They got paid. They were having a good time.
Yeah,
they got the vacation, too. You know, that was part of the contract. You get $100 and a free vacation, kid.
Meals not included.
I booked you a room for 2 nights after the shoot, so you can you can relax and refresh. And by the way, any of the broads that you can get from the set are yours.
Do you think that contract had like the $100 and a condom staple to it? But the staple goes through the condom, so it's pretty much like useless.
You think?
Crown is no. They're not gonna give them condoms. You kidding me? They're like
when Depp rolls out that 40-pack of condoms, Chris. That was given to him as part of the deal.
Yeah,
that was not a problem.
That was actually improv on their end.
So Karen O'Brien, who plays Dana in this movie, so the object of Depp's affection, she only has 5 credits, believe it or not.
Oh.
This was her first movie. She was also in a movie called Evil Laugh in 1986. The other stuff was just TV roles, 1 episode of Family Ties, and 1 episode of The A-Team. Hector Elizondo, who plays the Maestro.
That fucking name. I love that name.
Now, Hector Elizondo is having the fucking time of his life in this movie. God damn, is he just like... He is taking this movie by the fucking balls, chewing it up and spitting it out. Hector Elizondo is a prolific actor. 151 IMDb credits. He has been acting since the 1960s, and this is the crazy thing, Chris. He was working steady by the time this movie came around.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he was hurting for roles.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Hector, it's going to look a lot better on paper if you agree to go be in this movie. You want to produce a credit? It's going to be a great write-off. I don't know why he was in this movie. I really don't, because he was doing better things before.
Yeah.
He must have just fell in love with the part.
I'm sure that was it, yeah.
I wrote, I guess he was either offered a decent paycheck or he felt like getting a semi-vacation. So
I'm going to go with vacation. Come on.
So Leslie Easterbrook, who plays Bobby Sue, who's the Maestro's wife. Now, she has 98 credits on IMDb. Also a very prolific actor, but mostly for TV. except for her role as Sergeant Callahan in 1984's Police Academy.
Oh, yeah.
She's also in parts 3, 4, 5, 6, and Mission to Moscow, and the TV show. She did a lot of TV and some small roles in movies. She was also in 2005's Devil's Rejects and 2007's Halloween. One piece of trivia about her from this movie, Chris, is that apparently in her contract, she only had to expose her behind. But the producers convinced her to wear a sheer negligee that left little to the imagination when filmed under bright lights.
Got her.
We got her. And she's like, oh my God, I just heard. And he's like, no extra pay. Goodbye.
He puts his palm in her face, just kind of pushes her out the office.
We'll see you next time, Leslie. Thank you.
Yeah.
And last one, Chris. Well, I have two more.
Okay.
Let's do a quick one.
Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Yes.
Oh, Grindbin All-Star.
Yep.
So, Chris, he made this movie. This was his third movie.
Yeah.
Right after the last movie we covered on this podcast that had him in it, which was Night Patrol. Mm-hmm. So that was the year before, and then he did this, which is weird.
Very strange.
I would have thought they would have
Very
been
odd.
reversed.
Yeah.
But here we go. A real actor, Chris, besides Hector Elizondo, which he's slumming it in this role. Michael Bowen, Scott, or as I put, Dick Man Waiter Guy. The guy who wears aviators the whole time,
Yeah.
right? He has 124 IMDb credits, Chris.
Really?
And he's been in pretty much like every Quentin Tarantino movie. He plays the character of Buck in Kill Bill, if you remember.
Yes,
Buck in
it's
the
coming
beginning of
back.
the movie.
Yeah.
He plays Mark Dargis in Jackie Brown. He plays a tracker in Django. He's in a ton of movies. 1987, Less Than Zero. 1992,
Oh,
The
wow.
Player, where
Yeah.
he plays himself, actually. 1984, Beverly Hills Cop 3. 2004's Walking Tall. And 2009, The Last House on the Left remake. He works steadily. So I'm like, wow. I wouldn't have guessed that guy, literally the worst person in this fucking movie. It's like the most throwaway fucking character.
He's the Dugan of this film.
Oh, God. I fucking can't stand that character. And, oh, man. I gotta say, we're securely in 1985 in this movie, audience. Like, there's a lot of, like, it's okay to do whatever you can to put it in a woman.
Yeah. Whatever gets their clothes off, by all means, it's a fair game.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah. Via pill, via
Drug
coercion.
her, grab her, force her down. It's all okay. TriStar Pictures presents Private Resort. Oh, can't wait to get to the music of this movie. Okay, Chris, so movie starts, right?
Yeah.
The first
Oh,
shot.
God, yes.
First shot of the whole fucking movie is a woman getting out of the pool. So we don't waste the time. We don't even see a credit.
Yeah.
So a woman gets out of the pool, right? And we hear like da-da-da-da-da, the best music, because this movie has amazingly bad stock 80s music. So she gets out of the pool. We pan by lots of women's butts near the pool because it's like, all right, everybody, the movie's on. Get ready. All right, everybody, 1, 2, 3, boners.
Popcorn box above the dick, please.
This is like so made for Skinamax. Like the first shot
It's
is like,
shameless.
and you've turned to the right channel.
And get that extra pump in the Jergens bottle just so it's good to go.
I think I heard it because then the title comes out. We zoom out of the pool and it
Yeah.
says Private Resort. And I swear to God, in small letters, it says brought to you by Jergens. So then Depp and Morrow show up. And this is when I first theorized, Chris. Now, I've seen this movie, like I said, at least 20 times in my life,
Jesus
right?
Christ, man.
I still don't understand, though, how did they get here?
Yeah, because they are what? How old in this movie are they supposed to be? High
Thank you.
schoolers, college
Thank
kids?
you.
Because who has the fucking money for that? Did their parents send them here? Did they graduate? This is the graduation
there's one
money?
key in this movie, Chris.
Yeah.
One key that I'm wondering if you picked up on, which we will get to,
Okay.
on where Johnny Depp comes from. And he's actually related to people in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah.
But that's a thread that will never go anywhere. But I'm wondering, who the fuck are these guys, right? Are they high school kids? Are they college kids? Are they here with their family? Did they come here? Like, all we know is we got, here come the boys.
Yeah.
Like,
Shorts as high as the thigh can see.
this is Here Come the Boys, the movie.
Yeah.
Everything is just, here come the boys, like every scene, okay? It's just a constant boner joke, the
Yeah.
whole fucking movie. Like,
If I can't say if No theater had a woman watching this film for more than 10 seconds.
Chris, this is a movie you and I would have written in 7th grade.
Yeah.
And we would have thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Best movie of all time.
Yeah.
People are going to be fucking rolling in the aisles with this.
We would have been in tears writing it.
But I can't understand, Chris. So you're also confused. You have no idea how old these guys are, if they're even allowed to drink legally. I don't know.
Because, wait, are they? Because the location of this island, is this supposed to be Jamaica? Because
Chris,
the end of the movie.
I don't know. It's like, as in... I didn't even more from the IRS. They couldn't tell you where they were.
Cuba. Jamaica.
Yeah, one of them. An island. That's what we wrote on it.
It ends with an A, I think.
I don't know. Island, water, ocean, waves. Who knows?
Tropical.
Come and find us.
There's a toucan, I think.
Then I don't understand, like, what we never get any sort of backstory at all. We just know these guys are horny. That's all we know about them, Chris. We don't know if they're going to school. We don't know if they work jobs. Apparently they have enough money because they're throwing fucking money around like it's nothing in this movie. Like giving out tips, having a nice big room, buying drinks left and right, having a good time, not worrying about a fucking thing on this vacation. Who are these guys?
They're throwing money like it's fucking raining.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
It grows on fucking trees.
These like fucking rich guys,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What do they do?
I'm going to say trust fund
I
kids.
mean, are they virgins?
I don't know.
The movie just is like...
There's no way they're
fuck it,
virgins.
fuck it.
They can
You know
buy the
what?
sex
Fuck
if they
it.
wanted
Just
to.
whatever. They go around, they hit on broads, movie ends. And find something for Hector to do. He's a good friend of mine. So basically... All right, so they just kind of come in and they start, ogling the women, right?
Yeah.
And then we see some kid in a snorkel and flippers, and he walks by all these women and leers at them. We're going to see this kid again, right?
Right.
Then we first get the introduction of our boy, Hector Elizondo. Oh, my God. And his wife, Leslie Eastbrook, who I don't even know. They really don't ever say her name.
No.
She's just his wife, right? So she's the Maestro's wife.
I called her Mrs. Peekabooby.
Peekabooby?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is a term we'll use it here. Mm-hmm. So Hector Elizondo calls himself the Maestro, right? He doesn't have a first or last name. He is the Maestro. And so he's... Okay, Chris, this is amazing. The first introduction. Oh, God. This is when you know this movie's going to be great.
Yeah.
So, Chris, he's sitting there in this lawn chair.
And we got the waiter pouring some wine, some red wine. Let's not forget.
So he's got a glass.
Yeah, he's holding it out right above his lap. He's wearing white pants.
White, and I mean white pants.
These are like, I've golfed in pants, and these pants are wider than the pants I've
they'll
golfed
blind
in.
you in the sun. If
Yeah.
they catch the sun the right way, it's
Yeah.
blinding, these white
Right.
pants.
I think the camera crew used this to white balance. Just zoomed in on his penis.
By the way that Hector Elizondo dresses in this movie, impeccable.
Yeah. Love it. You think that he just came on set in wardrobe that he chose, and the crew was like, and the director's like, Hector, that wasn't on the call sheet.
Hector, look, I told you to bring a lot of different clothes, but your outfits, I can't make heads or tails of any of this. On one hand, you brought a lot of hats, which is interesting. Yeah. Cowboy hat, also sailor hat, captain's hat.
Are you a secret agent? So the waiter is pouring this red wine above the white pants of this man, and the waiter looks over at his wife and does the
well, a certain part of the anatomy of his wife.
Yeah, a certain part of the anatomy, the hoodas, if you will.
The peekaboobies.
The peekaboobies, we'll say. And the waiter's just got this look in his face like, oh. And sure enough, the bottle drifts wayward from the glass that is being held above the lap. It goes onto his pants. Hector's face is like,
oh my God. It's the best fucking face. He's like, and he just kind of sits there and lets it happen.
Yeah.
Like the whole fucking bottle of red wine is going all over these white pants, and he's just sitting there with this look like, hey. But he doesn't say a goddamn thing.
Or do a thing.
So then the next thing we see is lots of dancing by the pool. And I write, this band that's playing, by the way, is the most Club Med rock you've ever heard.
Oh, God.
It's like throw in a fucking lightly distorted guitar. I mean, as light as possible. Don't offend anybody with that. No, little more. There we go.
Yeah.
Just barely.
It's like the distortion knob is like not even at 1.
Yeah, we want to give it a little
just
tap of rock and roll, but
it's
not
dusted.
too much.
It's dusted with distortion.
Yeah, and then pull out that steel drum.
Because it's not a resort without steel drum.
Mix it all together, and you got just no words. By the way, we just go ba ba da ba da. And they're just kind of dancing around, and everybody's dancing. And this is when Depp first notices Dana, right?
Yep.
And she's getting out of the pool. And there's this great scene where he goes over to Rob Morrow. He's like, "Nah, watch the Maestro at work." And he walks up to her with that towel, and then another guy gets her, right?
Right.
And then Depp gets the old lady. Uh-oh. And there's where we get our first cocktail napkin joke of the movie. We'll have plenty more where that came from.
Oh, God.
You know, that one's written down. Tries to give broad towel, gets old broad. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm not sure what this means, sir.
Do you think all the teenage boys in the audience are like, oh, like grabbing their friend by the shoulder, like, oh.
Yes, I do, Chris. I think this was everybody in the front row is just boners at attention during this movie. All the 14-year-old boys who snuck into this one.
I can't believe you got your mom to drop us off to this.
Oh my God. Oh, thank God. It starts with boobs. This is going to be great. It feels like you're on vacation watching this movie. This is one of those movies that if you're having a bad day, fire up Private Resort. You're going to get a smile. Now, you may laugh at me, but I get legit laughs out of this movie. There are a few times
Oh, I did too.
where I get legit laughs.
I did too.
Including that wine gag. So, okay, we go back to Elizondo, right?
Right.
And now by the way, he's walking back to his wife. He has not changed his pants because there's this giant
There's still a
fucking
giant stain. Okay, here's my reasoning. That room is probably way up in one of the other towers, and are you going to waste time to change your pants? You're on vacation.
But it's like dry, and he's got these horribly stained pants. He looks
You know
like...
what? Fuck it, you're on
he-
vacation.
I don't know. He has like the worst case of prostate cancer.
No, dude.
Well, he's just pissing blood all over himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks crazy. And so he walks over, Chris, and this guy is like hitting on his wife in his chair, right?
Yeah.
And what's he do, Chris? We're living in a cartoon world in this movie.
Yeah.
This is when we first established the physics on this island, which are not the physics of Earth, but the physics of Jamaica, apparently.
Yeah. This is the fishing hook in the
No, he like sees this guy hitting on his wife.
Yeah.
And then he just...
Oh God, yes. Okay. So this lawn chair. So this guy is now sitting in his lawn chair, hitting on the wife, and the guy just walks in like, "Ugh," and just stomped his foot on the edge of the chair, and this man goes catapulting through the air into the pool.
Yeah, like some sort of pro wrestling move.
Yeah.
Like, he just gets launched like 15 feet in the air. Whoa!
I would have loved to have been
on
on set to see the contraption to make this happen. I would have loved to be on that thing.
And I write at this point, this is 3 minutes into the movie. I've clocked it now. Starting strong.
Yeah.
So we've gotten, rapid fire gags, right? So now we go back to the pool. It's night now, right?
Yeah.
So we don't even cut. We're still at the pool. Like, we just literally cut from this to it's night and people are still dancing. And Depp and Morrow, they're trolling the bar, right? So they go over to the bar and they order beers. And I'm wondering at this point, how old are these guys supposed to be?
I'm going to say barely 21.
I know, or
barely.
Like, it's so bizarre. You just never get a sense of who these people are. It's like they totally forgot that their characters are like, oh my God, we forgot to give them stories at all. In fact, I don't even know if they have names. I was just calling them Johnny and Rob on the set. I don't even know if they got fucking names.
The script literally just says Depp and Morrow for each line of dialogue.
So this is when we get the first introduction of the security guard, who is the most useless character. Like, there's really no reason for this confrontation to begin.
No.
Or even happen at all.
No.
Right? So, Chris, let me ask you, have you ever been on vacation and just you're enjoying yourself at your hotel, and then a man who works there just comes up and goes like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. Get the fuck out.
No, never. When would that ever happen?
So they're just drinking beers. They're just having a good time. And for no reason, the security guard walks up to him and he's like, "Excuse me, gentlemen, this is for guests only." And then Johnny Depp shows him the key. He's like, "Yeah, fuck off."
Yeah.
And then he walks away and they're like, "Geek."
And then the guy turns around like, "Well, I've never. Like, I've got my eyes on you."
Yeah, and I would be like, hey, if this happened to me on vacation,
I'd be pissed.
I'd be fucking livid.
Yeah, man.
I'd be like, you know what? I want a free fucking drink, man. Fuck this guy. I paid good money to stay here.
I know, I'd be
This is
fine.
an island. Where do you think I came from, dumb shit? Like, we're...
Like, do you think we like rode a torpedo here?
Yeah, and it's not like they're freeloading. They bought a beer.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you know what? Hey, security guy, go ahead and harass customers, paying customers. If you see some guy with a beer, ask him if he stays here. Why didn't you go fucking bug the guy who's laying by the pool who hasn't ordered any food yet or something?
Do you
all
think
right?
it's because there's like another like lower rent resort on the other side of the island, and they think they just kind of sneak on over?
And like, by the way, Chris, they're staying in a big room.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like the fucking master suite these guys
This
are
is like
staying in.
the fuck hut 5000 that they're in.
It's 2-bedroom. There's 2 bedrooms in this.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna bang, go for broke.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a full timeshare resort. This place, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of pissed me off because I'm like, well, fuck this guy, man. If I'm on vacation and some guy starts fucking asking me if I belong there, I'd get pretty pissed too. I think they let him off easy.
Yeah. I would have filed a complaint. I would have gotten the supervisor and the manager. I would have raised fucking hell. I would have had them like upgrade my room.
Well, it's already the top, so they can't upgrade that.
Yeah.
They could have at least had his job or his head. So
Yeah.
then the waitress comes up, right? So, oh my God, the fucking most useless character in this movie. We have to, for some reason, find a girl that Rob Morrow likes, right? Oh, God. This girl... So the whole... What is this subplot? Just bullshit? Because, I mean... This girl she just serves no purpose other than Rob Morrow's gonna leer at her and like do his little bumbling, you know, I like you.
It goes nowhere. I don't know why. Do we need another girl for him to ogle at? There's so many in this movie. Why does he have to have one?
I know, why could... It's interesting that they brought her in.
Yeah.
Because it honestly serves no purpose. Like, who are they trying to convince that Rob Morrow's a good guy? Okay? Who are they trying to convince that Johnny Depp or Rob Morrow's a good guy? We basically are following a pair of rapists that have come on vacation, and they're going to come on vacation. Trust me.
Is this supposed...
Whether they're invited to or not, Chris, they are coming on vacation.
Is this girl supposed to be like, I'm going to change him?
No.
No, it's just not. No.
No, not
Thank
really
you.
at all.
Thank you.
She serves no purpose.
Yeah.
This whole fucking subplot, stupid.
Right.
It's like, well, we need to have some redeeming quality. Trust me.
You got to show he's sensitive.
I've added this character in because otherwise this script is just about these 2 guys raping broads. And maybe at the end, they shouldn't be going off happy. Maybe they should be going off in cuffs with Elizondo.
That should have how it been.
So the next day, Chris, we're at the pool again because we have not established another location yet.
Or it wasn't open yet when they were filming for,
At this, it's like, well, we got the pool for 3 days. We got to film everything right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point, we don't know if we're ever going to leave this pool. Maybe this whole movie just takes place at this pool. We don't know at this point. So Morrow and Depp, so far this movie has just been a series of Morrow and Depp just entering scenes.
Yeah.
So guess what, Chris? They enter this scene, and they're like scoping out the pool, kind of checking out all the girls. And then the security dude shows up just in time to see one of the best pranks, Chris. That snorkel kid. Now, he's got a fishing pole.
Yep. And he's kind of lowering it above midair, and we pan out to see him above the bikini of a woman, the bikini top. And the hook is not going to hook into the bottom of it in the middle and kind of dangle its way up, but he gets caught.
Yeah, the
red-handed.
security guy like runs over. He's like, "Hey, don't do that!" But then the top still comes off.
Yeah, and well, that went nowhere. But hey, we got it gagging. That's 1 napkin down, 38 to go of gags.
That napkin just read fishing pole bikini top.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How the fuck am I gonna fit this in? we don't have access to a boat. We don't have." This is a tough one. So then we see Elizondo, right? So the Maestro, he's in the pool. And I love this part, Chris. So now we find out why Hector Elizondo's on this island.
Yeah.
Or at this resort, right? Mm-hmm. So he's standing in a pool with a giant pair of binoculars around his neck and a cordless phone. Where this phone came from, who knows?
No.
But he's just talking to somebody And he just says, quote, "I'm watching the old broad right now." And he looks very suspicious. Okay, so basically you have a guy on the phone going like, "Yeah, I'm watching the old broad right now." And then he pulls up this pair of binoculars
And looks right at her.
and just staring at a lady. And he's just staring at her. And he looks at her chest, and we see just like a diamond necklace, okay? And he wants the diamond. That's it. That's our whole plot.
Yeah.
So this whole movie is plot 1, Depp and Morrow need to get laid. Like I said, they're going to come on vacation, okay?
That should have been the tagline of the movie.
Come on vacation with Depp and Morrow. And the other plot is Hector Elizondo wants that diamond, okay? That's it. That's all you need to know. The rest, fill in the blanks. So he wants that diamond, Chris, and his wife says something about how some barber is going to come to their room. They've called the hotel Barber, and he's going to get his hair cut. He's very particular about his hair. So this is the first time we learned that Elizondo, he's got a nice head of hair in this
Yes.
movie.
Oh, it's beautiful. It goes
Yeah.
with every outfit.
I mean, this thing, he's got a nice rug on, right?
Yeah.
So then Morrow bumps. Okay, then we get Morrow. He's bumping into the waitress, and we get. This is where we first see that hotel waiter dick, the guy who permanently wears aviator sunglasses. So Morrow just bumps into that waitress, and he's like, "Hey, apologize to that guy." And Morrow's like, "It's okay, I liked it." And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, whatever.
So basically, Dick Man, he tells the waitress, he's like, "Hey, stay away from that guy. He's a jerk, all right? I
Yeah.
know. I've seen them all. You got to be with me. Whether you want to or not, you're going to be with me. Some way, I'm going to find a way to get inside you." And she's like, "You know, there is such a thing as sexual harassment." He's like, "Yeah? Not in Jamaica." Go ahead. Call the cops. I dare you. You want to go find a lawyer in that jungle? We go to later, Chris. And guess where we are?
Oh, God. Where are we?
The beach. We're at
Damn
the
right.
pool. And
Damn
there's
fucking
another bar
right.
down there. And so now we just see a shot of Morrow drinking beers. And he's like taking this bowl of free nuts and just shoving it down his mouth as fast as he can. He looks like a fucking crazy man. He's got this bowl of nuts and he's just shoving it in his mouth. And Johnny Depp walks up and he's like, "What are you doing?" His mouth's full of nuts. And he's like, I think I'm in love. God, and he's just staring at this waitress for fucking 20 minutes. And Morrow's like, "Hey, man, Depp's all, hey, man, we came on vacation. Like, maybe hit on the girls that don't work here, you know? One's
For a change.
And Depp's like, "Hey, check out the Maestro at work." And then there's that gag where he tries to help that big lady out of the pool.
Oh, God. Which we alluded to before. And basically, they're trying to get her out. Well, the only reason why is because Depp wants to know the girl that I guess she knows.
That goes nowhere.
Yeah.
He basically tries to help a big girl out of the pool. The security guy comes up and he's like, "Oh, I'll help you
Yeah.
out of the pool." And then Depp sees another lady and he's like, fuck that plan.
Yeah.
Walks away and
Yeah.
security guy goes flying in the pool. Another cocktail napkin down, Chris. So then we see the
It's
kid trying to
crumpled
steal.
on the floor.
Then the kid's trying to steal another top, right? This time he's got like one of those like grabbers.
Yeah. Like a little Terminator arm on a stick.
And he's just trying to grab at Hector Elizondo's wife's top, which isn't a bikini, by the way. It's a one piece.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how's he going to get that off? There's probably an easier target.
He's a kid. He doesn't know he's horny. He's not thinking right. He
And
just
by the
like,
way, he's-
go for the goods.
He's in a bush with like a robot arm coming out. Like, it's the most obvious fucking thing.
Well, my favorite thing is Depp and Morrow walk over and like, whoa, check that out.
Okay, yeah. Now here you go, Chris. Now I'm wondering if you noticed this. They walk over, and Depp knows this kid. He's like, "Hey, Kevin."
Yeah.
And he runs over and he grabs him, and then the kid goes like something about their mom. And I go, "Whoa, okay, so hold on. Johnny Depp's here with his family? Like, that's his little brother." And then we saw this kid's mom for one split second. She has one shot where she says something. So Johnny Depp's on vacation with his mom.
You know what? They touched on that. I don't even see that.
By
I
the
don't
way,
even see it.
after this scene happens, you'll never see this kid again.
No.
It's almost as if he just drowned in that pool and the mom just fucking died.
What if that was the mom's plan, was to drop her kids off and never come back?
I wouldn't blame her. We find out this is Johnny Depp's brother. This will go nowhere. And then they both just kind of sit there and hit on Hector Elizondo's wife for a while, right?
Yeah.
And okay, now this is very confusing because she talks to them and Depp's being like super forward. He's like, "Hey, can I go to your room and fuck you?" She's like, "You're very forward," and he's like, "Yeah, I am. I'm hard." And she's like, "Oh, thank you," and then walks away. And so I can't understand this, Chris. She apparently leaves her key there
I guess.
on purpose.
I guess.
Because Johnny Depp's like, "Oh, she left her key. She wants us to go to her room," and they want to go run to her room.
Yeah.
Before she gets there.
No, I don't know.
I'm like, that didn't seem like what she was doing, but okay.
I don't know, to lay out the Quaaludes beforehand.
I mean, this was a real smeared cocktail napkin, this one.
Yeah.
So they didn't really know
They
what
couldn't
to do.
really-
This is a gray area one. So Johnny Depp's like telling Rob Morrow, he's like, "Oh, we got to go to this lady's room." And I'm like, "And what? Run train? There's two of you and one of her. Like, what?"
Yeah.
Like, Johnny Depp, again, he's got to come on vacation. So he's...
They're going to do a pork roast or an Eiffel Tower. We don't know.
So then, by the way, though, amazing. This is the only time this is ever going to happen. This is the last time we're going to see this boy. He pops out of that pool, Chris. He looks right at the camera.
Oh, my God.
Winks and says, "Boy, I'd pay to see this."
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. Breaking the fourth wall. We're not even 10 minutes in, and we're breaking the fourth wall.
And he, like, winks at the camera.
Yeah.
That's a wrap on the kid. We'll never see him again. I guess his mom picked him up and she's like, "What movie are you in?"
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with my son being in this.
They didn't even have her sign a release.
What, he's never seen a tip before? When we agreed to put Roger in this movie, it never said anything about him pulling women's tops off. We were paid $50 and a free buffet ticket. Oh, come on. We got so much more planned for him. Your son's going to be a star, ma'am.
Yeah.
The two men that are starring in this movie, I bet you one day you're going to see their faces on billboards all over the fucking place. This guy, Depp, he's going to be a fucking star. The guy's going to win Academy Awards.
So we even wrote him a muff diving scene that he's going to do.
There's a scene where the kid takes place, where he's kind of with them carrying a drunk bro. Maybe I should stop talking. All right. I obviously see you picking up that phone. We're in Jamaica, by the way. The authorities ain't going to do shit for you. It's island rules out here, ma'am. Island rules. The next scene of this movie is the most fucking useless scene in the whole fucking movie, Chris. This is literally the worst scene, yet the best scene. This is a cocktail napkin for sure.
Okay.
If anything, we have... Look, I'm going to tell you two things. One, there's nothing better than a man getting hit in the nuts. That is fucking comic gold, okay? One day there might be a TV show where people send in videos of themselves getting hit in the nuts, and it will be #1 rated, okay?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Two, I need to get a free round of golf out of this movie. We need to find a way to write off a golf game, okay? So we gotta have a scene on the golf course, or else Mr. IRS is gonna get a little bit upset about the whole thing, if you know what I mean. Mr. President ain't gonna like it, all right? I know Reagan's in the White House, but trust me, you can't get away with everything. So we've now got that nice write-off for a golf course scene, okay?
We don't know if he's the front nine or the back nine.
This is literally like 10 minutes. Okay, wrap. Now I'm going to play 18.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We only need second unit for this.
Yeah, this was obviously like, all right, let's get out at 6 a.m., film this scene. Everybody's wrapped for the day. Hector, are you joining us? We got your clubs.
They had to be, well, there was a tea time at 7. So they had to squeeze this in like at dawn.
Oh my God. So this scene sets up two characters we will revisit at one point in this movie that lend nothing to the movie.
Yeah.
So all this is Hector Elizondo's walking across a golf course holding up the binoculars, right? Just staring at this lady while she's trying to golf, okay?
Right.
And he's just walking across the course, like across the fairway, holding his binoculars up. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't understand, Elizondo. What do you need to look at? It's a necklace. Where's it going to go?
Let's watch the fucking lady. You don't need to zero in on her.
What do you need to look at this? Like, just fucking get her when she's not playing golf, man.
Oh, look at that thing sparkle. Oh, God, yeah.
You know, if anything, maybe he should have went to her room at this point and seen if she left the diamond behind, because I'm pretty sure she's not going to wear it in a fucking golf game. But Elizondo's just walking across the fairway. He walks through these two Japanese men's game and kicks their ball, right? This will come into play later, okay? They are large Japanese men. Just remember that, because maybe an hour from now, it'll pay off.
Oh, yes.
Elizondo walks, he's keep walking with those binoculars, and then the old lady, the old broad, hits the ball, and it hits him right in the nuts.
Yep. And I laughed so hard. I was like, ah!
Because he just bends over, he's like, oh!
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap. Good thing we shot it in 1 hour. All right, everybody, let's break.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. We're playing 18 today. So then we go to Elizondo's room, okay? And Depp and Morrow come in, and, okay, so now they're going to wait for his wife, right? Mm-hmm. And so Johnny Depp just immediately starts stripping down his clothes. And Rob Morrow's like, what the fuck are you doing, man? He's like, no, we got to be ready for her. We got to be ready. I got to get it in as soon as she walks in, all right? She's hot. Right. This lady's hot for us, okay? Get off your clothes. Get off your clothes. I'm ready. I'm hot. And he's like, he gets it down. He pulls off all his clothes, and he's like, all right, I'll be in the bedroom. Tell her I'm in there. Mm-hmm. And then the door... There's a knock at the door. Elizondo walks in, and he's like, oh, you the barber? You're here early. Because they're like, there's this barber chair set up in his room. Mm. Which I was like, wait a second. If the barber chair's set up, why wouldn't the barber just set that up himself? Also, doesn't it seem weird that they would send a barber, like they install a fucking chair in your room? Mm. Like, isn't there just like a barber at the hotel?
Why wouldn't he go outside like to like a certain... Is this like such a high-class hotel?
They bring the barber shop to your room.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a barber shop. They bring it to you.
Like, he brings a room to sweep up your hair.
I've heard of room service, but I've never heard of barber service.
This is obviously made up just for this movie. You know what? I want to look up if this actually exists for the next mini bin, but...
Morrow pretends he's like, oh, yeah, I'm the barber.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Johnny Depp is
because he's not like, oh, I'm here to fuck your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp's naked in his bedroom, so it's
it's
like, oh,
here come the boys.
Here come the boys.
Yeah. So this guy's like, hurry up, I want it good on the side, just a little bit, and...
Yeah, okay, now what really bugged me, Chris, is why doesn't Hector Elizondo have a key to his own room? Because he knocks on the door.
Yeah.
And somebody answers it. What if nobody was there?
I think
was he just going to get locked out of his own fucking room?
Maybe his wife has it.
They don't have two? I think they would have two, Chris.
Yeah. Well, you know, women always losing things.
So apparently he doesn't even have a key to his own room. He walks in, and he keeps saying something about how his hair is all important to him. And Morrow, okay, so he sits down, right? And he's like a little up the top, a little this. Rob Morrow's like looking over to Johnny Depp, like, what tool do I use?
Like, dude, just fucking, like, what, would he know?
You've never had a haircut in your life? It's either scissors or buzz, man. That's fucking it. Scissors or clippers. Scissors or clippers. And you know what? Just don't fucking do anything. Yeah. Okay? This is how you get out of this situation. Just don't do anything.
Hold the hair with two fingers, but trim right above them.
Yeah,
don't even trim them.
And just pretend like you're doing something.
Yeah.
But no, Rob Morrow just starts butchering his hair. Mm-hmm. He takes the clippers and he's just like right to the scalp.
Down the center, yeah.
And just hair is just flying off. And then his wife comes back. So Maestro's wife comes back, and she goes in the room, and she gets undressed. And Johnny Depp's getting his boner ready in the closet, because now he's in the closet, and I guess he's going to pop out at some point.
Yeah.
And just be like, all right, I'm ready. Let's fuck, even though your husband's out there. And so then we just keep cutting back between Rob Morrow basically butchering this man's hair. Like, if you think, at what point do you just stop?
Because I would feel a draft on my head at a certain point. And like,
okay, because at the end of this, Hector Elizondo has like a skunk tail down the middle of his head. Like, Rob Morrow at one point, which we don't see, took the hair clippers and buzzed straight down to the scalp, down the middle of his head.
Yeah, like almost like a homie to clown haircut.
How would you not notice this?
You wouldn't like feel up there during the haircut, like, you know what, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah. But instead, he gets away with it by just wrapping Elizondo's head in a turban.
And tells him, don't take it off, it needs to dry.
He's like, don't take it off for an hour.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, whatever. And then basically, so Depp he kind of gets out of that room.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't, because then Hector Elizondo wakes up and he's like, oh, let me give you a tip. Because he like fell asleep in the chair. So it's very confusing. There's a lot of shit going on. And so basically Johnny Depp runs into the bed with his wife, and he's got his leg sticking out, and Hector Elizondo like touches the leg, and he thinks it's the wife, and he's like, you need to shave, you're getting a little hairy.
Yeah.
he leaves, right? And then Johnny Depp gets all dressed and then pretends he's a gay man because it's the 1980s.
He's now the manicurist.
Basically, they get out of there.
Yeah.
Right? But not until,
security?
the other barber shows
Oh,
up.
God,
the real
yeah.
barber.
Yeah.
And we get introduced to this guy who's like some sort of German guy. He
Yeah.
is German because
Yeah.
there's a part where he does some sort of bizarre cosplay.
Yeah, I'm the barber, yeah.
And like Rob Morrow's telling him to leave and he won't leave. And it's this whole
Like, what's
thing.
the fucking hassle, man? Just fucking leave. Like, you don't need him. No, I'm coming in. I give up a shift. Like, no, man, fuck you. Get out of there.
I know, and I feel like this is very confusing to everybody. The movie is very confusing at this part. Everything's going around. It's like a Three's Company episode. People are running in and out of rooms
Yeah.
and stuff. All you need to know is they get out of this room, but not before Hector Elizondo takes off that towel, and sees his haircut, and then he's just buzzed right down the middle. And I go, is Morrow mentally challenged? He can't form a coherent sentence, and he also, his version of giving a man a haircut is to just buzz
Shear him down the center.
down the middle.
Well, you know, these guys think, and inside their mind, their only things happening. There's like, fuck, boobs. Like, what the fuck?
Oh shit, man.
Oh, man.
Haircuts.
Like,
Oh my god, I didn't sign up for this. And then, here come the boys. Yep. They start running down the hallways, and it's cue the Bow Bow song.
Yeah.
So this song that we're playing underneath us is the most wannabe copy of Whirling Bird I've ever heard in my fucking
I
life.
thought it was at first. It's Surfing Bird at first.
Yes, because it's pretty much, instead of going bow bow, they go like bow 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 bow.
They're treading on such a thin line of copyright infringement.
Oh my god!
Right now.
When I used to watch this movie in college with friends and we would get drunk, this would be like, we would all start singing this song. Like, this is the cue. It's like, oh, here it comes. Here come the boys.
Oh, God.
Good times are starting.
Had I known you guys did this, I would have had a reason to drink.
So we get a chase scene through the halls, right?
Yeah.
Madness ensues. They run over the security guy. He makes another appearance. Depp and Morrow run into an aerobics class. And this is great. So Hector Elizondo comes into this class.
Yeah.
It's like taught by some big muscular woman.
Yeah, you could say she's, quote, Amazonian, if you will.
And yeah. And I don't know how to explain it other than like Hector Elizondo's like character in this movie is just like, I don't know, like some sort of like sleazier Rodney Dangerfield. Like he just calls women broads all the time, and he has this like weird tone to his voice. Like he walks in this aerobics class and she's basically doing the pick it up Brenda to him.
Yeah.
She's like, hey, if you're going to be in this class, do it right. And he's like looking for Depp and Morrow, and he's like, all right, whatever. I don't know what these stretches are, you broads. And he's like looking for them. They're clearly in the back of the room.
Yeah. He's not looking hard enough. He's not like, you should like start barging through the women, throwing them around.
Yeah, but for some reason he's like, well, I guess I got to be part of this class now.
He starts doing the moves.
So he starts doing the moves while he's like looking for him. And then Johnny Depp, now he forgot he was in a chase because he's just staring at a lady's ass. Mm-hmm. And we find out it's that Dana lady.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm in love now. And him and Morrow are just stretching instead of leaving. But then they kind of just sneak out the back or something. Mm-hmm. And I wrote also, by the way, Chris, this is a running theme in George Bauer's movies. Because we had the aerobics in My Tutor.
Yeah.
And we have the aerobics in Private Resort. So it's a nice...
I thought it all tied together quite nicely.
Yeah, it's a nice little director trademark.
Yeah,
if there's aerobics in the movie, maybe George Bauer's directed it.
Yeah. But no one had any line in this film like, I'm going to hit the ceiling tonight, or...
I wish that Crispin Glover was in this one instead of My Tutor. Could you imagine if Crispin Glover played Rob Morrow's part in this movie?
I see Crispin Glover as the dick waiter.
Oh my God, Chris, imagine this movie if it was Crispin Glover and his brother from My Tutor. This movie would have been even better than it is. It's already good, but imagine if it was those two. Oh my God! By the end of that night, they would be trying to bury somebody. There would be a dead body involved.
Yeah,
and they would have hit the ceiling.
Yeah, it's them in the desert, naked, covered in blood, with two shovels, trying to dig as furiously as they can to throw this woman's body in.
To bow bow. Oh, ba 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 ba. basically they run out, and then Elizondo's trying to blend in, but the instructor just like starts kicking his ass. And then throws him out of the class. Oh, no, Depp and Morrow just stick around. They finish the class.
Yeah.
And then we go to the hotel hallway. So the security guy stops a woman. Okay, so this scene just is like, well, we got to get a little bit of the old TNA because it's been about 10 minutes and we haven't seen a pair of tits. So when this movie shows on Cinemax, let me tell you something. Every 10 minutes, Mr. Cinemax himself wants a pair of tits. It's either got to be one or two, but one nipple, two nipple, whatever it is, you got to have at least one per 10 minutes. So the security guard just walks up to a lady in a small bikini, and then I don't even know what happens. He's like, you can't wear that?
Yeah.
I'm like, what the?
She's a guest in the hotel, man. It's a
guy?
resort.
This is the most useless security guard. Hey, why don't you go fucking look if somebody's stealing food from the buffet or something, guy?
Yeah.
Like, stop harassing the guests. His performance review is going to be a real nightmare. Like, we get a lot of complaints about you.
I have a theory. He doesn't even work at the hotel. He just dressed up really nice and just went around acting like he did.
Like, this guy really is just a pervert.
Yeah.
Like, this is his way of, like, seeing boobs all the time.
Right.
And, like, he gets real cheap thrills out of pretending to be a security guard.
Exactly.
And getting women undressed.
Boom.
You need to come to my office. Stop and frisk. Stop and frisk. What do you got under that bikini?
Yeah.
So, basically, this all just ends with him accidentally taking her top. And then the German barber shows up for no reason. And they, like, get into an elevator and start fighting each other. Because for some reason, for the rest of this movie, the German barber and the security guard are going to hate each other.
I don't know why. It's not explained.
There's a lot of shit that happens in this movie. You can't fault it for not having things going on. There's certainly never a dull moment in Private Resort. There's always something. It's overwhelming to a point.
It is like a giant dust cloud of fists and boobs, tumbling around like a cartoon.
There's always something. You look up at the screen. It doesn't matter if you're paying attention. You're going to see a joke every 2 minutes. So just, if you went to the bathroom, it's okay.
Yeah.
You didn't miss anything.
No.
So we go to the pool, right? Back to set one. Morrow hits on this waitress and this... So basically, just Morrow and the waitress share a moment. That's it. That's all that happens. And the dick man threatens to fire her if she doesn't stay away from Morrow. And I wrote, why? Because I guess we need some sort of controversy. Who the fuck cares? Although he does sexually harass her by petting her.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
that's
talking
right.
to her. He's like, hey, baby. Hey, baby. And he starts like, her boss starts petting her arm. And he's like, no, you shouldn't be with that jerk. You should be with me. You should be with me. Be with me. Let me see your hand real quick.
Yeah. Now, loosen up your arm a bit.
Yeah.
Now tighten it really good.
Island rules. Which is so weird. This whole thing is so weird. So we go to the elevator. The security guard and the barber are ripping each other's clothes off, Chris, right? Yeah. And then you see the first introduction of literally the most useless character in cinema history, which is this punk guy. So this guy with like bleach blonde hair that has all these spikes.
I fucking hate this guy.
And he just,
oh my God.
He walks around, he's like, whoa! Yeah. That's all he does.
Dude, like, so cool, man. Whoa. And that's his vocabulary.
Yeah. And he just looks at them because they've ripped their clothes, and he's like, whoa, that's awesome. That's it.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this man because at the end of the movie, he will become an integral character to the plot.
God.
So then we go back to the pool. Depp just watches Dana swimming like a fucking creep. Mm-hmm. And then, so he asks this waiter, he's like, hey, what's her story, yeah? And he's like, oh, yeah, well, if you want to talk to that girl, you got to get through her grandma.
Mm-hmm. But he keeps making him bribe him.
Yeah, like the waiter's like getting him to pay money.
And this is where we get clued into, like, Johnny Depp comes from a rich family, or he's a con man because he's got a wad of cash.
Loaded.
Yeah, these tiny little shorts have this giant wad of cash inside them.
Tiny little shorts.
They are.
Chris, where do you think he's stuffing it? He's stuffing something. Trust me. Yeah. This is coming right out of the crotch region. Yeah. Like he's got a wad of cash instead of a wad of socks down there. He's got a wad of cash. Yeah. And so, yeah, he's paying for information, right? Mm-hmm. But this is great. So he pays the waiter to fake that he's a doctor.
Yeah, by getting on the phone call. Getting on the phone.
So Depp, like, takes a seat next to her grandma.
Yeah.
Who happens to be the, quote, old broad who Hector Elizondo's trying to get with the diamond necklace.
Oh, wow. Small island.
Small island. And so he's paid the waiter to pretend he's a doctor with this phone call.
Mm-hmm. And so he's The waiter walks by with this cordless, radioactive, God knows what kind of phone, cancer tumor phone.
Again, this cordless phone that apparently reaches the pool.
Yeah, and he's on the phone and he's going, yes, I can get the doctor on the phone, and he gets closer to the woman. He goes, the doctor, like really
because
loud.
this is when we learn that the grandma can't hear.
Yeah.
But she can. It's just sometimes she can't hear.
She has selective hearing, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp just gets on the phone. He's like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 blah. I'm a doctor. And then he hangs up, and she's like, oh, you're a doctor? You should date my granddaughter.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, he makes a line like, this business. Like, first off, a doctor is not a business.
This business. Yeah. Cash only doctor. That's what this dude is.
He's going right back to Mexico.
You need a prescription? Don't worry. I got you. Right back to Mexico. A border doctor, if you will.
Yeah.
But this part is great. So Dana comes over, right? And she joins them. And this is so funny because the grandma introduces, she's like, oh, this is Dr. So-and-so. And she goes, really? Like, she can see right through it. She's like, really? What type of doctor are you? And this is one of the best lines. Is Depp just looks right at her and he goes, what? He goes, what
kind do you need?
What kind do you need?
And normally any woman would be mortified, but she gives him like the fuck me eyes.
Well, Depp delivers this with such gusto.
Yeah.
Like,
such bravado.
It's like he knew he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
He looks at her and he's like, what do you need? It's masterful.
It's masterful. I was watching this and I was getting wet.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
You're a critic watching this one.
When Depp said those lines, oh boy.
So the grandma sets up this date with Depp and the grandma, right? But she's like, oh, but you got to find somebody to date her crazy cousin. And here we go. Uh-oh. So we're going into Dana's room, right? And so Depp has convinced Morrow to join them for this double date, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, can you take one for the team and date her sister? Or cousin,
Yeah,
right?
cousin Shirley.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now we're going to get to the next thing. Is like, if you didn't think we were going to offend women by drugging them in this movie, we're also going to offend any sort of religion that's not... The religion that this character is like, I don't know. In the world of TriStar Pictures, they're like, what's that? Look, let me ask you a question. I saw the other day on the street, I saw this man with a towel wrapped on his head, and he's fucking walking around going, oh, blah, blah. What the fuck kind of religion is this? Have you ever heard of this?
It's not really a religion, more of a belief. You just, you
Jesus Christ, your fucking explanations, kid. Well, what do you think? I mean, what is this fucking guy doing? He's playing some sort of Baba Rama. Oh my God.
Shit.
Write that down. Because she has no real religion. It's just like, what if somebody saw somebody with a turban on and they're like,
I can do that too.
look at those crazy religions. Okay, so they walk into this room, and they're like, okay, Morrow, here's your date. And this lady just kind of like, do you ever watch, The Undertaker, the wrestler? She does this thing where she just...
Oh, she's lined
You know
up.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
She does that sit-up where he just goes like
the Undertaker's lying on his back after he gets knocked out, but then he sit straight up with these wide eyes.
Yes, She does the whole Undertaker sit-up.
The resurrection, if you will.
She just goes
straight, like 90-degree angle.
Yeah, she just sits up with this 90-degree angle with a turban on, and Rob Morrow's face is just like, uh-oh, this is something I don't understand.
Yeah.
I'm a white man, out of here. Johnny Depp's like, oh boy, you're in deep. Here's my pills, okay? He's like, what am I going to do? These are a bottle of aspirin? He goes, this isn't aspirin. These are Quaaludes. And Morrow's like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, no, it's a love drug. Give her a few, she'll be horny. And then he just leaves. And I write, so Depp is a rapist?
Basically, yeah. He's giving them the Cosby colada and
My
running.
God. So Johnny Depp, like I said, Chris, he's going on vacation.
Yeah.
He's coming on vacation. Okay, one way or another.
He's coming on
If the
vacation.
women aren't agreeable, well, little, in the drink.
Yep.
Oh, you got a headache? You have a headache? You have a headache? He's walking around the whole island asking ladies if they have a headache. Oh, got one.
Yeah.
I don't understand. If a date's not going well for Depp, is he just gonna like slip her the old one too and be like, well, it may not be going well for you, but it's gonna go well for me.
Yeah. Count slowly back from 10.
And I write, so these are the characters we're rooting for? Rapists?
Basically, yeah.
Cosby's? Straight Cosby Island. Although, by the way, you think maybe Morrow wouldn't try to get her to take the pills because also there's that waitress that Morrow's supposed to be a good guy and be going after. But no, he pulls a real Bobby from the van and he's like, well, she's not here right now and I need to fuck something. So I'm going to try and have sex with this crazy religious lady. So, I
think this lady...
A hole's a hole, Chris.
Yep. Here comes the boy. Well, this woman and her so-called religion, do you think she just started this on her own after seeing this painting?
Like she went into the dollar store and found this painting and was like, that seems like something I should pray to. Because we're going to say, we'll get into it, but her religion makes no sense. But before we get to that, Chris, we're in the restaurant and Elizondo, this is the most ridiculous scene in the whole movie. Now, Hector Elizondo comes into this restaurant to where the, quote, old broad, the grandma, is apparently, I guess it's like a dance club or something. But Hector Elizondo walks in looking like fucking JR from Dallas. Like,
and I'm not ashamed to say that I own this suit.
Yeah, Chris literally owns this costume.
Yeah. It's not a costume. It's a full-on suit.
Hector Elizondo is wearing like a cream-colored 3-piece suit with a cream-colored cowboy hat on. Yeah. And he's pretending he's a Russian, which makes literally zero sense. Yeah. As he just walks up to this lady and he's like, hey, do you want to dance? And she's like, I can't hear you. And he's like, do you want to dance? Like screaming in her ear. And she's like, oh, I'd love to. And he's pretending he's like some sort of Russian count. Okay. But then he brings her to the dance floor, but it's great.
Because she can't hear a word he's saying.
Because after he picks her up, he says to no one in particular, almost to the audience, the broad's deaf. So then he dances with her, right?
Yeah.
And he's like trying to get the necklace off, but it doesn't work. And then his hat falls off, and she's scared of him because he has the skunk head.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, there go my ovaries. I'm out of here.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I got a headache. The old lady pulls me, I got a headache.
The old steak and run.
So then the punk guy comes up and compliments his hair because Chris loves that character. And I knew that was going to be your favorite character in this movie.
When I saw that suit, I'm like, I almost got it out of my closet just to wear and watch it at the same time. This buttery suit. It's in winter.
Oh, my God. It's in the trailer, by the way. So if you're not going to watch this movie, which I highly recommend this movie, but if you're not going to watch this movie, his outfit's in the trailer. Just look at it for yourself. It's insane. It's insane.
And I'll post a picture of myself in this suit on the Facebook.
We should post a side-by-side of you and Elizondo.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
He was the original JR.
He was. Yeah.
Now we go back to Dana's room. All right, so we go back to the room with Morrow and this religious girl. Now Morrow is wearing a turban, so apparently she packed extras, right?
Yeah.
And they're like praying together, and she takes all her clothes off to be, quote, free, and then he takes off his too. And that's when she uncovers this crazy dime store painting of this god that she worships, which looks like I said, something you'd either find at a dollar store or a flea market.
Looks more like Gaddafi.
It's very bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah. No, it almost looks like the Ayatollah Khomeini. That way, if you kind of squint.
Like if like Chuck Avery made a cartoon of the Ayatollah Khomeini. Like, it's very weird. It's like if you mix Ayatollah Khomeini with Jerry from the Grateful Dead.
Oh yeah.
It's like Jerry Garcia mixed with and he's got his mouth open. He's like, hey.
Yeah.
This is fucking insane. Like, obviously, it's going on any sort of like what I think the religion is just called the turban religion. They wear those towels on their heads and they walk around in the robes. You mean Hare Krishnas? No, but kind of. So I don't know what the hell this is.
Nope.
It's like he saw it on the news one day and he's like, you know them. You know what I'm talking about? I don't have a picture, but just write this down. Turban, robes, and then go into that record store and find a weird picture. Anything that looks like a god. So then we go to the pool and so I guess Depp's trying to fuck Dana by that pool and I go, I wonder if he slipped any of the pills, if he brought something for himself.
He probably
forget-me-nots.
He kind of dumped all the pills in the pool and held her head under.
She was like, I don't have a headache. He's like, are you sure? So then we go back to the room. Okay, so now Morrow and her are like standing naked in front of that picture, and he like tries to hug her.
Yeah, she's got this thing where he has to hold. They hold their arms out, and she's kind of going towards him. And he's like, "I can't take it anymore." Just kind of jumps on her.
Yeah, he's hard. He can't take it.
Yeah.
She says something like, "Can you feel your spirit growing?" And he looks down and he goes, "Yes, I can."
Yeah. Another napkin off the table.
And oh, by the way, the god's name is Baba Rama.
Yeah.
If that's a real religion, sorry, but it doesn't seem like it. I didn't do any research, so then she leaves because she's like, "Oh, I'm unpure. I need to go out." And then who cares? Then the grandma comes back to the room and like Morrow tries to grab her while he's naked, and she hits him out of the room. She's like, "Oh, you derelict!" But Morrow leaves those forget-me-nots on the table, Chris. And Grandma's got a headache.
Grandma's coming to town. Grandma might be going downtown.
So Grandma roofies herself, right?
She takes 4.
Yeah, she pulls a Nick Nolte and roofies herself.
If anything, they should come back and she's like, just a corpse on the couch.
She takes 4 fucking roofies. Yeah, and then Morrow's running naked down the hall, and who would be there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The security guard.
Yep.
And so Morrow's trying to get in the room, and Johnny Depp's like, "Hey, I'm busy in here." And then at one point, Johnny Depp opens the door, and now I'm confused on this part. Now, Johnny Depp, does he hand him a used condom?
Yes.
Used, right?
I'm assuming it's used.
Because they don't come rolled out.
No, they did not. Like, roll your own condom, It wasn't really a hit when it came out.
So Johnny Depp hands him what I'm assuming is a used condom.
Yeah. Well, try before you buy.
"Have fun. I came on vacation." And then Rob Morrow, I don't even know what fucking happens, but Depp opens the door and hands him this used condom, but the security guard gets it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "I need to see your key." And then Johnny Depp goes, "Here's my key," and then hands him a used condom.
Yeah.
And the security guard has it. Rob Morrow runs off, and then some random lady with dogs shows up.
Yeah, the 2 dogs, the little tiny dogs, and they start attacking him, and he tries to like whip it at him, like
you see, he tries to fire the condom at him like it's a fucking rubber band. Just great, by the way. Oh, there's another napkin down.
Yep.
Condom as a weapon. Boy, how am I gonna fit this in?
Condom slingshot. We got it. At a dog.
And then, so for no reason, Rob Morrow ducks into a room service cart, and then it gets pushed into Hector Elizondo's room. And so Hector Elizondo's on some sort of like contraption that hangs him upside down.
Yeah.
So I've seen this in movies before.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, like, this isn't real, right?
I think it is. It's like some therapeutic thing to get blood flowing from the legs to the head.
This seems like something they eventually figured out was like, oh, this doesn't do shit.
Yeah, if there's anything, this will give you an aneurysm.
Okay, but here's the other thing, Chris. Did he fucking pack this thing? This is like a full contraption with like metal parts and like a giant board and stuff.
I'm gonna guess if the hotel can accommodate with their own barber chair, they can accommodate with whatever the fuck this is.
I'm like, how many bags did Elizondo pack?
Just for this diamond heist.
He's supposed to be here stealing a diamond, and this guy's fucking hanging upside down. He's got a fucking haircut going on.
He's deep undercover.
It seems like he's spending more money than this diamond's worth. Like, it's the whole point to just get a free vacation. At one point, he's just like, if I don't get that diamond, I'm a dead man. But by the end of the movie, the wife's just like, forget it. It didn't work out. You know? Elizondo's all sad. Yeah, he's like all sad. He's like, I didn't get that diamond yet. And she's like, it's okay. And then he's like, but I do want to kill that barber, Morrow.
Yeah.
Who's sitting right in the cart underneath him, Chris. But then so basically Hector Elizondo goes and take a bath. They don't even take one bite of their dinner. And he goes into the bath. And for no reason at all, Morrow like sneaks into the bathroom. Like, instead of going for the fucking front door...
Yeah, why is he in the bathroom? In the bathtub?
Oh, wait. He tries to go to the front door, but then he sees, like, the security guard out there, so he ducks back in and then goes in the bathroom?
I guess.
And then he gets in the tub with Elizondo, and this is when you get it's peekabooby time.
Yeah.
So Elizondo's got all this, like, soap on his face.
Yeah, Morrow's now in the bathtub, and he's kind of reaching for him like, oh, it's peekabooby time. He's kind of caressing his chest. And he's got bubbles on his eyes, so he can't see. And the big, moment doesn't come until he reaches down below and grabs Morrow by the snake. And Morrow's like,
Yeah, and then Morrow runs out, and he knocks over the security guard, and Elizondo chases him. We go back to, like, Depp's room. Mm-hmm. And so this is all over. Like, Rob Morrow walks in a towel. We're done. Outside. Okay, but then for no reason, there's a stupid scene where the waitress is like waiting for Rob Morrow,
Yeah.
and then the dick guy's gonna give her a ride home and probably rape her in that car, and she agrees.
Right.
And then Morrow runs out. It's too late. But then, okay, I only mention the scene because there's this part where the German barber comes out to his car.
Oh yeah, like changes his clothes.
Okay, so for some reason he changes into what I wrote. I go, is this like Hitler cosplay? Because he's dressed like fucking Hitler, and for what? He gets dressed in the parking lot. Like, is this his going home clothes?
I couldn't tell
By the
you.
way,
I was confused by this.
With a horsewhip, which is the even weirdest part. And then the grandma walks up and rapes him in a bush.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that sounds crazy, that's what happens.
Yeah, she starts whipping him with it too.
She's like, "Oh, I want you," and then rapes him in a bush.
Yeah.
Next day, we're at the pool. So Depp and Morrow drown their sorrows at the bar, and then this is the night, right? So they're all drinking by the bar, and I write at this point, I go like, "So wait, what happened to Depp's date?"
I don't fucking know.
He's like, "All right, we had sex. You can leave now. Thank you. I'm gonna go see if I could get it in anywhere else." Because the next scene is like Depp and Morrow at this bar, and then Dice Clay's here. Okay, and some lady comes up. Okay, so Dice Clay was like hitting on a woman, and then his girlfriend comes up, and she's like, "I should have known our first night here, and you're already chasing other girls." I'm like, Jesus Christ! And then his girlfriend walks off, and she says, "I will fuck the first guy I see." And Johnny Depp can't pass up this this opportunity, and he's like, "Hey, Morrow, can you stay here? I'm gonna go fuck that girl."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Wait, didn't you just fuck a girl like 5 minutes ago? Where are you going, Johnny?" And he's gone. Depp, like a fucking little smoke cloud of dust, as he's gonna go try to get it in. He's going 2 for 1. He bought that 20-pack of condoms, Chris. He's using it.
Oh yeah, those are not going to waste.
On vacation. I'm surprised Depp even uses condoms, to be honest. I'm surprised he just doesn't go like, "What do you mean pulling out doesn't work?"
He goes by like a pseudonym on this island. They're never going to see him again, please.
Yeah, he's like, plant the seed and...
plant the seed and do the deed and plant the seed.
Do the deed, plant the seed, and sow yourself a garden. There you go. That's the Depp one.
That's their little like chant before they go out. Like a little secret handshake, and they say
He's
that.
Like, by the way, I'm never coming back to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Do they allow abortion on this island? So Depp, he goes to hit on this lady, right?
Yeah.
And all his version of hitting on this lady is she's standing in a gazebo, and Depp just runs up to her, and he goes, "Hey," like out of breath, he goes, "Did you really mean to think about fucking the first guy you saw? Because I'm here. You didn't see any other guys on the way here, right? I'm the first guy, right? Okay, let's go to my room. Come on, fuck time."
Yep.
And she's like, "Okay."
Oh my god.
Depp, he's going 2 for 1 tonight, right? And then Morrow's stuck there with Dice Clay, and apparently, so Andrew Dice Clay's gonna take this other lady back to his room, but then Rob Morrow's like, "Oh no, don't take her back to your room," because he thinks Johnny Depp's gonna go have sex with this lady and Andrew Dice Clay's room or something. Look, all that happens is Morrow offers his key to Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Three's Company. They're all going to be in the same room. How is this going to work out? Jack Tripper, where are you? We go into the room, and oh my god. So first of all, this makes no fucking sense. So Rob Morrow brings in Andrew Dice Clay's...
The woman he's going to be bagging.
The lady of the night.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lady of the evening, that we don't even know her name. It doesn't matter. No. And he's like, "All right, well, you can go in that bedroom and get ready for him, I guess. Your fuck person will be here soon. I'll just watch from the couch. I'll just watch some TV." And then he walks into his other bedroom, and Depp has Clay's girlfriend in there. And then, oh my god, now I got real problems with this, Chris.
Okay.
So Rob Morrow walks in to see Johnny Depp and Andrew Dice Clay's girlfriend, and she looks like she may take one of those pills.
Yeah.
She is barely coherent, and Depp's kind of like slapping her face, like, "Hey, wake up! Are you able to open that mouth enough to get something in it, or is
loosen up that throat?"
My God, he's gonna rape this girl! Like, thank God Rob Morrow walked in and stopped this. Like, crimes were about to be committed in this room, Chris.
I know. This was gonna be a crime scene the next morning.
There's gonna be a fucking wanted poster around this resort that says, if this man ever comes back to the island, he needs to go straight to the electric chair.
Castrated.
There's just a picture of Johnny Depp's face and his dick side by side. It says, "If you see either of these, please call."
Yeah.
So Depp's about to apparently rape this girl. Dice Clay comes in, and there's this whole thing where they keep slapping each other. Okay, so basically all that happens is there's the old switch around Benny Hill gag thing.
Yeah.
Where, like, doors are opened, and, like, he's coming out of a room, and then they're carrying his girlfriend out, and they're dropping her, and she's all passed out, and then it's basically all ends with Andrew Dice Clay getting beat up by
Yeah, that's it.
both these girls because he's caught.
Yeah,
and then he's mad at Johnny Depp and Rob Morrow.
I thought he was a wasted potential in this film. He should have been the main attraction, like the main.
Dice Clay.
Yeah,
Like, he should have played, like, their older brother or something.
I think so,
He's
yeah.
like, I'll tell you how it's done.
yeah, like showing them the ropes, how to force a woman's head down there.
Hey, Johnny, you don't need those pills, you know?
Yeah,
All you need is your fist. Bow, 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 bow.
yeah. Dice, 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 dice.
So the next day, right, we're
Yeah.
at the beach. The waitress sees Morrow, and he has his bag packed, and he's like, I'm gonna leave, and then she's like, no, and he's like, oh, okay. And then the dick guy shows up and grabs the waitress by the arm, very forcefully, by the way. And then Morrow and him get in a fight. Morrow gets his ass kicked. That's it. Him and the waitress make out, and then we have a weird montage where Rob Morrow and this waitress go on a date for fucking 20 minutes, and it's like la 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 la, like a Crown song.
Yeah.
And we just watch them kind of run on the beach.
This is the quintessential generic date montage.
But I did write, this looks like the beach that Kim Bentley died on.
Oh yeah.
Like, I almost half expected to see a dead body kind of wash it up. La 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 la.
Yeah. With the credits rolling over it.
La 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 la. And then I also write, doesn't this waitress have to work?
Yeah, what is she fucking doing? No wonder this guy's.
Some guy running goes, hey, can I get a drink order in?
No wonder the dick waiter's pissed at her. This is all she fucking does.
She fucking do anything.
Yeah. No wonder she's pissed, man.
Every time he sees her, she's talking to Rob Morrow, and he's like, aren't
Yeah.
you supposed to be serving drinks? Why the fuck are you in the parking lot? Why are you running around the beach with this guy? You know, just because you work at a vacation destination doesn't mean you just take a vacation.
No. It's like, I work at Disneyland. I do go to Disneyland, but I don't do it when I'm working.
Okay, so basically, the next scene is Elizondo shows up to the old lady's room, the old broad's room.
Yeah.
And he takes that necklace from her by force. Now it's the first time when he pulls out a gun, okay? And he robs her. But he's also dressed like a sea captain, which is...
Perfect.
So now he has like a captain's hat on and like this coat. He spent a lot of money on costumes. Again, he spent a lot of money for this jewel heist, Chris, and that diamond's not that big, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's worth the money. You see him like he steals the diamond and he goes back to the mob and he's like, "All right, and also here is my receipts." And they're like, "What the fuck, Hector?" Maestro, this is like $10,000 of wardrobe. Well, I had to look rich. I can't just pretend I'm rich. I gotta buy the full The captain's outfit isn't the same if you don't have the hat on.
Oh, God damn
Hector,
it.
why did you need 10 pairs of white pants? Also, what's this dry cleaning bill? Basically, he robs her, right? That's it.
Yeah,
She
done.
like throws him over a balcony, but he
Climbs back up.
and points the gun at her, and he's like, playtime is over.
Yeah.
Then we just go back into Depp's room. Oh, God, this is when the most useless fucking controversy happens. It's like the waitress rolls in with room service, so she's finally back on the fucking clock.
Yeah.
And Rob Morrow's like, hey, how you doing? And she's like, oh, I missed you. I miss you too. And then Johnny Depp's girl walks out.
Right on cue. I knew it was going to happen.
And she's like, oh, yeah, I ordered the room service. And then the waitress is like, I see how it is, and just runs out. And he's like, instead of saying like, oh, no, that's Johnny Depp's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Rob Morrow, for some reason, just runs, and I don't know what happens.
Let me explain. I can explain, which is like the kiss of death.
Oh, my God.
For any scenario where this involves two women and one guy. Oh, boy.
Oh, God, it's bad. And
Yeah.
so he just runs out, right? And then Elizondo shows up and chases after him, and they somehow get into some random, like, fashion show dressing room.
I don't
Where
know.
this is the worst gag in the whole movie. This is another cocktail napkin, as I said. Guy dresses up like woman.
And gets accosted sexually by...
by Elizondo.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and another man. So this makes no fucking sense. Is Rob Morrow gets dressed up like a woman. He doesn't look like a woman, by the way.
No, not in the
And Hector
slightest.
Elizondo was chasing after him, but then for no reason at all, now Hector Elizondo's just forgotten why he was even there. And he wants to hit on Rob Morrow as a woman. And so he just starts going like, oh, baby, baby, like following after him in a dress. And then they like get outside and Rob Morrow's like basically trying to get away from Hector Elizondo before he rapes him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just write, how fucking stupid can Elizondo be? Like, how could you not notice this is a man? You can see his fucking beard like hanging out from the bottom. It's just so stupid. So he gets in the elevator and then Dice Clay walks in and they both grab Rob Morrow's ass at the same
in the
time.
elevator, and it's and he gets out of there. And,
But then Hector Elizondo pulls a gun. Like, this is the first time when he pulls a gun in public, and he's just fucking lost it.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Hector Elizondo also has the diamond, but then he keeps going, ice is nice.
Yeah, but he puts it down. It goes down the dress.
Yeah, he, like, puts it on Rob Morrow's hairy chest, by the way, and then it drops down into the dress, and now he's, like, got to chase after him to get the diamond back. Basically, this movie ends with Rob Morrow and Johnny Depp running from Hector Elizondo and the security guard.
Yeah.
While Hector Elizondo is opening fire, like with his gun, opening fire in a
public,
resort.
yeah.
And the security guard's like, oh, it's fine. He's the guy who's good. The man who's discharging a firearm, we shouldn't stop him, but those two boys.
Yeah.
And so basically, they go into a buffet at one point, and Hector Elizondo starts just firing into the like this is a fucking public shooting. Well, before they get to the buffet, though, you gotta have the Japanese tourist joke.
Oh, of course.
Where Rob Morrow walks out and Hector Elizondo gets a bucket on his head, and these Japanese tourists are taking pictures of him, and he's like, yeah, you think that's fucking funny? And then he's firing a gun, and nobody seems concerned at all. Then they go into a buffet, and he just starts opening fire on Rob Morrow and Johnny Depp, like literally in the middle of a crowded restaurant, just opening fire. Nobody's trying to stop him.
Nope.
Then he pulls out a fucking machine gun. Like, so instead of a handgun, he pulls out a full machine gun, and Hector Elizondo just starts fucking plowing down the whole buffet line of like bullets are just flying everywhere. Like, he is lucky nobody got killed.
Yeah.
Lucky.
No blood was spilled either.
No. And basically it ends as like Johnny Depp breaks a chair over his back. And then instead of Hector Elizondo even getting arrested, he just gets pulled out in a gurney. I'm like, this man just opened fire on a buffet, and we're just going to be like, yeah, island rules, who cares? And then the movie just ends with everybody just walking off, and now the punk guy is dating the old grandma, Johnny Depp's with his girl, Rob Morrow and the waitress has now quit her job. I guess she didn't live on the island. I don't know what the fuck's
I don't
going
know
on.
what was going on, though.
And then Shirley, so Babarama lady grabs a man's dick. Remember? Well, oh, never mind. Hold on. We got to mention this scene.
Oh, yeah. Almost there.
Okay, so the very last scene, Chris, and I know you love this because I love this one too. Before this movie ends, Shirley's with this guy, right? And she's going through the same thing. She's like, that is not a happy body. And this guy, the way he delivers these lines, he goes, and I quote,
baby, if this isn't a happy body, then my name isn't Big Rick. Check this out.
And he does this pose like the Mortal Kombat titles. Well, the screen where you select your fighter and you're waiting for it to load in the arcade. And he does this pose where it's a side profile of him flexing.
And then she takes off her clothes, and then he's like, oh, okay, I see how it is.
Yeah.
And then he stands up, and he just takes off his clothes, and she looks down like, oh, the big dick.
Yeah.
And then the grandma walks over and she's like, Shirley, we need to go. And she's like, I'm not ready. And just basically she crunches his dick. Everyone laughs. Movie over. And I write, so wait, what the hell happened to Depp's family? Also, where are they all going?
No idea.
Don't worry, Chris. We don't need a backstory or a story of what's going to happen. That's it. Everybody enjoy our cocktail napkin of a movie. Thank you.
We're out of film. Oh, guess we got to roll the credits.
86 minutes and done. Thank you.
Yep, vacation
This movie is
over.
a tight 86.
Yeah.
Recommendation?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I had a good time.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Like, there are lots of vacation movies, like dumb teen vacation movies, but I think this is one of the best. It is really non-stop cocktail napkin joke time.
Yeah, fuck your Adam Sandler vacation movies or your all that other shit.
Oh my God. If Sandler wants to make a good movie, he should watch this and be like, this is how you make a comedy.
Yeah.
Don't put in the fucking seriousness.
Or the fucking
your goddamn children.
And your fucking... Oh, yeah, and your fucking Judd Apatows can go fuck themselves. This is the real deal, all right? Fuck you, Seth Rogen.
This is just fun, man. This is just... We're having a good fucking time.
Yeah.
All right? A comedy is a comedy.
Yeah.
Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Welcome to 1985. TriStar Pictures presents Private Resort.
Yep.
But I also noticed that, by the way, the end credits of this movie have literally the worst, like, okay, so you've seen movies, Chris.
Yeah.
And the credits are usually on a black screen. For this movie, the credits are
On
like
a blue.
the most annoyingly blue screen.
Yeah.
Like almost as if to say, get the fuck out of the theater. Go.
Yeah.
Go. Like if you were in a dark theater and this was, you'd be like, my eyes.
Yeah. Okay. Because my computer, when I'm out, working on it at night, I turn off the actual computer, but the TV is on. I work on a giant 37-inch monitor, and when the computer goes off first tonight, it's a giant blue wall of light.
Yeah, and you're
I'm
like,
I'm like.
It's as if to say, turn it off now.
Yeah.
Tight 86. It's done.
Yeah, because I was my girlfriend and I were watching this via Skype on her end, and she's like, I'm going to turn this off right now because I can't stand this blue. Like, what are you talking about? It's great. I'm used to it.
Your eyes are just all bloodshot. What are you talking about? It's great.
I'm like acclimated.
You look like fucking Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange. Like, guys putting drops in your eyes.
And cross with Nosferatu.
Oh boy. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed this one.
Yeah, I
I
loved
think check this one out. This is whether or not this is a typical Grindbin movie, I don't know, but it's certainly a good time.
Yeah.
So
Enjoyed. Don't look at me like that. Don't give me those fucking eyes. Every time he's got the straight arrow rolling by on the table in front of me. Little wannabe.
ready?
Yeah, god damn it. If this is the first time you are listening to this podcast, we always go back to the first film we always covered, 1977's The Van, which is now the podcast episode we don't want you to reference when we talk about The Van, which is episode number 47?
47.
Episode 47, where we cover 1977's The Van. Listen to that shit, not the first shit. About a ginger little shit that buys a garish yellow van called the Straight Arrow, in which he attempts to get women the easy way.
The easy way. The easy way or the hard way, Chris? I don't know about that one.
According to Bobby, it's the easy way. This van is a whorehouse on wheels, and with the help of his friend Andy, also played by Danny DeVito, how this pair would go into any film we cover. Oh boy, this
There's
movie.
so many fucking opportunities for Bobby and DeVito in this one.
Here's what I think: just any and all chase scene with a woman naked or a bra naked. The Straight Arrow was going to come out of the ocean with a giant snorkel. Out on the windshield. The Straight Arrow was wearing a giant snorkeling mask and a snorkel mouthpiece coming out the side of it, and that's just.
And you just hear garbled Sammy Johns.
Yeah. And the Straight Arrow just joins the chase and barrels through. That's it.
If there was a chase scene in one of the hallways where the Straight Arrow actually plowed through a wall, it would not be surprising. It would fit in just fine.
But the best thing is that after the chase, the Straight Arrow just goes back into the ocean and is never seen again.
And just a little poof of air out the window. And a woman trying to get out of the back.
You just see this pounding of fists. I guess it's bubble dome window. Yeah.
I feel like Bobby and DeVito definitely put their Straight Arrow on a boat and went down to this island.
Oh, the
right?
Straighter Arrow.
The Straighter Arrow. And I feel like at some point Bobby and DeVito maybe had to go on the run a little bit, as you'd say.
Oh, are they on the lam though?
Yeah, they're on the lam. The bookie business didn't go well, and DeVito was like, Bobby, I don't know how to tell you this, but somehow your name got dropped as an accomplice to me. So we're going to have to run away. Bobby, are you okay running away?
Cook the books quick.
It's okay, DeVito. Can I bring the Straight Arrow? Yeah, of course, Bobby. Come on. That's our new home. Don't get too crazy on me, Bobby. The reason I need you is because that bed does sleep too. But Bobby, I've got it all planned out, all right? I got this brochure in the mail for this resort, and I called them up and I got us jobs, all right? So we're going to go down to this resort. We're going to work there. And let me tell you something, Bobby. There's broads. Broads like you've never seen. Vacation broads. Mistakes will be made on that island, Bobby. And let me tell you something. We could be those mistakes. And I just feel like if this movie starred Bobby and DeVito, it would have had, my cocktail napkins would have been at some point DeVito would have painted himself like one of those lawn chairs. and laid down naked as the Shea Lounge thing. And waited for a woman to lay on him. That was definitely one. I feel like there would have been the Bobby Poof coming out of the water like a Jaws going for a lady.
Well, that's better than the one I thought of. Is Bobby would have painted himself like a life preserver?
I definitely think Bobby would have pretended to be a lifeguard until somebody came up and said, some girl complained. She goes, yeah, can I talk to the management, please? Oh, yes, ma'am. What's wrong? I don't know how to say this, but your lifeguard groped me. Lifeguard? There's no lifeguard that works here. And they just run out to go see the lifeguard, and you just hear.
I wanted to see the straight out with zinc under its little windshield eyes and like a little whistle.
You remember how there was that part where Dice Clay's girlfriend was passed out?
Yeah.
I feel like if she got dropped out of that room, Bobby and DeVito would walk down that hallway and go, "Oh, Bobby." Bobby, we got one. Bobby. And then you hear, ba 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 ba. As they run around, they're getting chased by the security guard as they run this stout lady to the straight arrow. And they just throw her in the back. The fucking legs are still hanging out of the back, and they just drive off. The Vito slams. And they just waves by.
Yeah. Where do you think they
Island
went?
rules!
Where do you think that straight arrow went after that? Where were they driving off to?
Chris, I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
really know what's on this island.
Yeah, there's not another island.
A
resort.
shack where they keep the bodies.
Yeah, it's a meat locker.
La 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 la. Oh, well, thanks again for joining us on another episode of The Grindbin. If you want to get in touch with us, grindbin@gmail.com, grindhousefilm.com. You can find us on Twitter @GrindPod, on Instagram, what is it, Grindbin Podcast?
Yeah, Grindbin Podcast.
Facebook, The Grindbin Podcast.
Twitter, Grindpod.
Yes, and if you can find us, please rate and review this show on iTunes if you enjoy it. If you rate and review this show, you can request a movie for us to cover. Last week's movie was The Bronx Warriors, which was a review request from a listener. And next week's movie is also a listener review request, which we will say what the movie is for next week on the Mini Bin.
Yes.
Please check out our mini episodes.
Those are the companion episodes to the Grind Bin. All the grind business and fun stuff that we couldn't fit in this episode, you can hear in that. And if you would be ever so kind as to click that big purple rectangular subscribe button in iTunes and the subscribe button in Google Play, wherever the hell that is, we would be ever so grateful, as you will never miss another bin. Ugh.
Yeah, and check out the mini episodes. Also, we want to hear your comments and questions. We will be covering the next mini bin. We'll be covering a rotating set of features on those mini bins. We have all sorts of things. The grind dating's coming back. We got sick reviews, which you don't want to miss those. Don't want to miss them.
That's the appetizer. This is the main course.
Yeah. And we will reveal the next movie on the grind bin on the next mini episode.
That is true. Bobby, here comes your boys.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team.
But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no field coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna